Hello, welcome to our session on cyber resiliency. It takes a village. We meet here today as ransomware attacks continue to make headlines around the world. This is no longer a conversation that lives in IT teams. It's a boardroom level concern for organizations of all sizes around the world. My name is Sanjeev Desai, and I am a Senior Director of Solutions Marketing here at Cohesity. Joining me today are two distinguished speakers: Greg Stolz, Technical Solutions Architect, Enterprise Security from Cisco, and John Hildbrand, Principal Technologist from Cohesity. If you attended Cohesity Connect last fall, you hopefully got a teaser of security collaboration between Cohesity and Cisco, and our integrated solution with Cisco SecureX. Today, we'll double click on the solution to show you how it brings IT ops and SecOps together to help you combat ransomware. Before we dive deeper into the integrated solution, let's begin with a quick overview of Cisco SecureX. Cisco SecureX is a cloud-native platform that connects the Cisco Secure portfolio and third-party products from customers' infrastructure into a single, consistent security interface. It transforms customers' infrastructure from a series of disjointed solutions into a fully integrated ecosystem, enabling intelligence sharing and coordinated security response. This results in unified visibility, automation, and stronger defenses, as well as prevents threats from bypassing overwhelmed security teams. And here is the best part. If you own a Cisco Secure product, you already have SecureX entitlement. Now, let's look at the Cohesity Cisco SecureX integration. Before the integration, Cisco SecureX provided a simplified, singular security view across networks, endpoints, clouds, and applications. And now with Cohesity, data as well. So why now? Well, we know that cyber attacks continue to grow more sophisticated and more severe in their business repercussions. We also know that backup remains the last line of defense and the first line of recovery against cyber attacks. Therefore, it has never been more important for organizations to strengthen their cyber defenses with integrated data protection and rapid recovery. This first of a kind data protection solution with Cisco SecureX accelerates time to discover, investigate, and recover from ransomware attacks. It builds on Cisco's broad cyber defensive capabilities and delivers a new levels of data protection automation between SecOps, IT ops, and NetOps when responding to ransomware incidents. And from initial conversation to first call support, customers gain exceptional Cisco experience end to end. So let's talk about what it is solving for enterprises. Every year, Cisco surveys around 2,800 CISOs and IT decision makers worldwide to better understand their challenges and priorities. The findings from their 2020 report have guided our solution design. The survey revealed that there is a broad consensus that ransomware doesn't discriminate, and it is the most destructive threat for both small and enterprise organizations in terms of downtime. Time to detect threat is rated highest, with 57% saying it's a critical KPI of threat efficacy for security teams. 81% reported that orchestration between products across security infrastructure is challenging. And finally, 77% plan to automate more actions to maximize efficiency and minimize burnout. So, what is holding them back? It's really the disjointed operations. Data security is a team sport. But with traditional security and data protection solutions, enterprise teams face three top challenges in strengthening data security posture against ransomware. First, complexity. Organizations, operations teams fighting ransomware attacks discover they must investigate incidents in multiple consoles with limited intelligence and context sharing, which adds risk to their business. The second issue is siloed visibility. Enterprises realize that they lack unified and concurrent visibility into their data and other protection across networks, endpoints, clouds, and applications when ransomware attacks strike, which increases the dwell time. And finally, inefficient operations. Teams are forced to manually coordinate across multiple groups, across operational silos for investigation and recovery, which leads to business disruption and employee burnout. So, to eliminate the status quo, we brought together Cohesity's comprehensive anti-ransomware capabilities of Cohesity Helios and Cohesity Data Protect with Cisco SecureX to give organizations new ways to fight ransomware attacks. Cohesity is a leader in data protection. Our model of detect, protect, and rapidly respond has proven effective in helping companies quickly and easily recover from attacks. And with this integration with SecureX, we have made the process of countering ransomware threats to data that much simpler. Cisco is a leader in security. With its integrated security portfolio and exceptional threat intelligence capabilities, Cisco gives enterprises the scope, scale, and capabilities to keep up with the complexity and the volume of threats against their networks, devices, users, and applications. So, combining our complementary cyber defensive and rapid recovery capabilities for data, Cisco can now ensure all gaps have security coverage. That will help you accelerate time to discover, investigate, and recover from ransomware attacks. Through this integration of Cohesity Helios, Cohesity Data Protect, and Cisco SecureX, you can do three things. One, add Cohesity Helios ransomware alerts directly into SecureX that indicate that data and workloads may have been compromised. Two, you can get facilities within SecureX to investigate quickly. And three, and here's the best part, if needed, initiate a snapshot recovery directly from SecureX for a closed loop remediation. This plays a critical role in helping drive the complexity and cost of ransomware response for organizations of all sizes. We believe our integrated approach helps you confidently tackle the three most pressing data security operation challenges. One, simplicity. Two, visibility. And three, efficiency. And we do that by eliminating three things. We eliminate platform silo, we eliminate people silo, and we eliminate process silos. So let's examine each of them. Let's talk about the platform silo first. Most organizations don't have the time or talent to connect technologies across multiple vendors. So the integration eliminates the platform silo for a simplified experience. In one SecureX platform, you can do a couple of things. One, you can see enrich global threat intelligence with Cohesity ransomware alerts and context. Two, you can quickly visualize the threat impact in your environment. Three, you can search, triage, prioritize, track, and respond to Cohesity alerts in Incident Manager. And fourth, as I mentioned earlier, you can initiate remediation directly from one UI. As you can see in the view on the right, SecOps can find all Cohesity incidents with a simple keyword Cohesity. And from the same UI, SecOps can initiate a closed loop recovery to restore compromised workloads to the latest clean snapshot. Greg will show more on this in his demo later. The second thing, as I mentioned, we are doing is eliminate the people silo. In legacy solutions, awareness and decisions are slow, as different ops teams must swivel to see many views with conflicting alerts. So the integration here helps eliminate the people silo by breaking functional barriers. SecOps, ITOps, and NetOps teams all now have the same data security context they need at their fingerprints within the SecureX experience. As you can see here on the right, and we will also see that in the demo, in a visually intuitive relations graph, teams can aggregate and correlate Cohesity insights into compromised workloads with other global intelligence and contextual information in SecureX for networks, devices, clouds, and endpoints to assess the blast radius of ransomware. This capability provides much higher levels of visibility so that teams can identify, correlate, and address the data security aspects of their infrastructure, in addition to protecting networks, endpoints, clouds, and apps, as I mentioned earlier. This results in accelerated ransomware threat investigations and incident response. The last thing the solution does is it eliminates the process silo. Look, in legacy solutions, process has friction. Incident response and threat hunting is often manual with outdated playbooks and broken scripts. So finally, the integration helps eliminate the process silo for streamlined collaboration. Cohesity has added pre-built data protection workflows in SecureX. They unite teams for collaborative investigation and remediation, which is the core theme of this presentation. The users can create any number of workflows by extending and integrating Cohesity workflows with other tools in SecureX ecosystem. Let me give you an example. In the event of a cybersecurity attack, SecOps will be able to speed incident response by automatically opening a ticket in ServiceNow to trigger broader team collaboration via workflow and orchestrating the initiation of data recovery when needed. The opportunities here are endless, and we'll cover more on these in the demo later. So the result is really more efficiently informed decision makers who can meet critical SLAs across the full life cycle from discovering to recovering from ransomware attacks. So in summary, SecOps teams defending data against ransomware threats and looking to collaborate better with their peers in responding to data compromises will choose Cohesity plus Cisco SecureX solution for really three things. One is fast detection, second, simple investigation, and third, confident response. Let me now invite John from Cohesity and Greg from Cisco for the solution demonstration, so you can see firsthand how it works. John is a Cohesity Helios operator on the left. He represents IT ops, specifically backup admin in this demo. Greg is a SecureX operator on the right. He represents SecOps. The demo will show Helios detecting ransomware anomalies in data and sending those alerts to SecureX. Within SecureX, Greg, as a security analyst, will investigate the incidents as potential ransomware events and assess its blast radius. He will then take several actions, such as dismiss the alert if it is false positive, escalate the incident, or, if needed, initiate a snapshot recovery either directly from SecureX or via ServiceNow. Let's now turn over to first John and then Greg. John, please take it away.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Here, we're taking a look at Cohesity Helios, and at the moment, I need to switch over the context to our security tab, which I will do now. From here, we can take a look at all the different anomalous snapshots that we've received over the course of varying degrees of time. In this particular case, I'm doing last month. I'm looking for a particular device in question. In this particular case, it's 382 lab-02. This device has been exhibiting some anomalous behavior, and I want to take a look at it and drill into it. For instance, we do have some notifications letting us know that there is an anomalous snapshot, and we can take a look at the trends overall to see that, yes, something was definitely out of the ordinary. Now, in this particular case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand this over to my SecOps team and have them look and drill deeper into this. Greg, why don't you take a look at this particular anomalous behavior for me?
Thanks, John. In fact, our SecOps team already saw this incident in SecureX and are looking into it. So before I demonstrate what the SecOps workstream might look like, first I want to provide a tour of some key capabilities and functions of SecureX. Understanding these functions will allow you to see how SecureX provides tremendous value in making security operations more efficient and effective, saving critical time security operators already do not have enough of. Through partnerships like we have with Cohesity, you can expand your capabilities and recapture a lot of lost operational time. What we're showing on the screen right now is the SecureX dashboard. When you first log into SecureX, you get this quick view of a number of pieces of data being reported by the different integrated tools. You see in this example, you have some secure firewall, some cloud analytics, some secure endpoint, but a number of tools can be integrated in the dashboard and customized whatever way you see the most efficient for a single view of the data relevant to you. At the bottom of the dashboard, you'll see we have this ribbon. As you click on the ribbon and it flies out, you'll see a number of tools. We have cross launches to integrated applications. We have access to a casebook. A casebook is where you can collect different elements and data relevant to an investigation or a threat hunt, and incidents. We're going to spend a lot of time in incidents in a moment. As we go into incidents, we see we have a list of the different incidents as reported by different tools. In this case, we see some Cisco StealthWatch Enterprise, Cisco Next Generation Firewall. Of course, Cohesity Helios has a number of alerts brought up in here, and a number of other tools like Cloud Analytics and Secure Endpoint. For each alert raised, we have a number of pieces of data being reported. We have a summary of what the event is, different details of the event, observables that are related to the event, and so on. You'll also notice there's an Investigate Incident button up here, which we're going to also focus in on a moment. So from the incidents list, we have access to a number of pieces of information. In this case, we have observables that are being reported by StealthWatch Enterprise. Every observable will have its pivot menu. From this pivot menu, we have access to a number of more tools, whether we're pivoting to other UIs for other tools or taking actions with things like the SecureX orchestration workflows. We're going to definitely focus more on this in a moment. As I mentioned, this Investigate Incident button is very important. Through SecureX, you have access to what's called threat response. There's multiple ways to launch into threat response, one of which is manually. We can open up threat response, and from here, we can plug in any items that we find relevant to doing a threat hunt, such as an IP address, a domain, etc., and we can click Investigate. But of course, we're trying to minimize the amount of clicks and the amount of effort to get to resolution. So other ways we can run this are, for example, you can be outside of SecureX. You can be reading an alert on CISA.gov, for example, and using the browser plugin, have access to threat investigations right from that same web page. select the items you want to search on, and investigate in threat response. It'll automatically open up threat response, pre-populated with all those elements and those observables that you want to search for, without you having to click through and copy. The third way you can launch threat response is from these incidents. Now here, let's get into the Cohesity Helios example. We want to perform an investigation on this particular incident. So let's go to observables, click on investigate incident. In this case, there's just one. That's how Cohesity reports to SecureX, and investigate selected. Now we really show the power of SecureX. With those couple of clicks, we are now searching through all the integrated products for any occurrence of relevant information to that particular entry and that observable from the incident. What we wind up with is this connections graph showing all the different observables that host was observed doing throughout the enterprise. So you see, we started with a single element called 382 Lab, and we found, by searching all the different integrations, it's actually had made a number of connections and connection attempts to different malicious and suspicious IP addresses and websites. It's very clear that this host is behaving anomalously. Additional items on this page are the sightings, which shows the graph over time of what's been seen. Across the top, we have some other elements like targets and what's been investigated and related information, and the modules that reported relevant information. Now, even though it says 8 modules here, it's actually searched all integrated modules, which is about 12 in this environment, but only 8 of them actually provided relevant information, so it shows you that up here. If it wasn't as obvious that this device was performing malicious actions, we could scroll down further and dig in deeper to the different elements that have been reported back on. But in this case, we know we want to take action. One way we can take action, again, is the pivot menu, as I described in the ribbon. Same actions, same availability. We can open the pivot menu and gain access to the additional capabilities of SecureX. So one more part of SecureX we're going to show before we actually go ahead and take these actions. SecureX orchestration. SecureX orchestration is a development platform that allows you to create workflows to connect to any API accessible tool, whether it's a Cisco tool, Cohesity, or other third parties. If there's an API, you can use orchestration to connect to it and take action. Cisco and partners like Cohesity and others publish workflows for you to get you started so that you don't have to build them from scratch. In this case, Cohesity has published multiple workflows, one referred to as recover from anomaly. So with this workflow, we don't even have to go back to the Cohesity UI. I, as a threat hunter, can take action directly from SecureX and restore that workload back to the last known good state. Now, even though Cohesity publishes this workflow and allows you to import it directly with all the steps required to complete that action, you can modify this by yourself using built-in activities that Cisco and partners publish for you. Maybe your environment, you want to create a ServiceNow ticket. So you take the ServiceNow action, drop it in your workflow, connect your API, send it the description, and now you can have a ServiceNow ticket created as part of this workflow. Maybe you have an approval process you have to follow. The threat researcher might be responsible for determining the necessary action, but maybe somebody else actually has to approve it before you let it go through. So in this case, you create an approval request right into the workflow. Now this workflow that Cohesity provided has been modified to fit my particular organization's current process. That's orchestration in a nutshell. Going back to what started this demonstration, we know that this host has been behaving maliciously, and Cohesity has raised an alert because of that. From here, we're going to click the pivot menu in the workload, and we're going to run the Cohesity Helios recover from anomaly workflow. I click that, and I'm done. Hey, John, we took a look at that workload, as you pointed out, and have ran the workflow to recover it. Let us know if there's anything else we can do.
Thanks, Greg. I'm going to take a look one more time through our list and make sure that that particular anomalous behavior has been flagged and no longer available for us. So if I look through our list, I notice I no longer have Lab 02 listed in here. So Greg, thanks for this. Thanks for the assist, and thanks for taking care of that particular device for me. Sanjeev, I'm going to send it back to you so you can close out the session.
Thank you, John and Greg. As you saw in the demo, the integration of Cisco SecureX with Cohesity Data Protect makes data security a team sport and helps you accelerate time to discover, investigate, and recover from ransomware attacks. Here are specific steps you can take today to get started. This is a great time to take a screenshot so you have them handy. With this, you will be much better equipped to fight ransomware attacks and gain peace of mind. Thank you for the privilege of your time. It has been an honor.